I'm not allowed to get serotonin in normal ways. I'm only allowed to get serotonin by looking like this. It's here! Part 2 of Reunion Jester, which is pretty much just dealing everything from here up. In the last video we did all the sewing, so we did the pants, the shirt, the bolero, and the glorious overdress. So in this video I'm going to talk very briefly about the horns, my solution to getting the rest of my body blue, and also turning my face from this generic yet somehow still racially ambiguous mess into a lethal blue tiefling. So without further delay, is it the mic? Oh well. But let's get into it. For the horns, I purchased a file of STLs of various props for Jester Lavorre from Indigo, which is the same Etsy shop I bought most of the Reunion Jester patterns from for the sewing part of things. Since Jester has been around for a while, there are a lot of STLs that are available for free, but I really like the way Indigo included the little gold caps as part of the overall horn design. If you have access to a 3D printer, I highly recommend doing cosplay horns this way. Not only is it probably faster than making anything yourself, it's much lighter, even lighter than any cardboard horns that I've made, and also you're going to be guaranteed a lot more symmetry and consistency. Also, I'm sorry we have no satisfying Peely support removal video because apparently I don't know how to frame a shot. But after getting the horn supports completely removed, I just coated the whole thing in various shades of brown and black with my reliable Liquitex acrylic paints, and honestly, yeah, that's about it. I know it's pretty boring, but since the horns already started with a black base and had some really cool textures on it, there wasn't really a lot of work that had to be done. Also, it was like 3 a.m. the night before the Ren Fair that I was doing this, because staying up until 6 a.m. finishing costumes for the Ren Fair is my version of a con crunch, and I wasn't about to be putting any particularly special effort into the horns. I did end up doing a gold dry brushing and painting the tips gold later, and also gluing little jingle bells onto the tips of the horns because of course I did. I had jingle bells. I have to jingle when I walk. That's Jester Lavorre core. If I didn't do that, that would be wrong. Also, here's the only footage I have of the horns with the gold tips painted on, besides the reveal footage, alongside some footage of me painting a pair of elf ears blue. I actually ended up using a pair that I painted 2 years ago instead of these ones, mostly because the color matched a little better in the older version. Some of the paint was chipping off because I didn't seal it properly, but still I preferred a better color match than having that overall perfect outside. I also created this little headband out of scrap fabric and spent the wee hours of the morning gluing a bunch of magnets onto it that would hopefully hold on to the magnets that I attached to my horn and hopefully be strong enough to hold through the wig. It is not my best work, but also it was around 5 in the morning by the time I got to this, so literally this is just me using every kind of adhesive possible to get the magnets to stick to the fabric and not to each other. I know I should have sewn the little magnets on, but again, I was trying to get at least a smidgen of sleep before I had to go to the festival. But with the horns and the ears out of the way, we can finally move on to the bluening, which I really wanted to make a helpful tutorial, but turns out you're just gonna get a weird compilation of what happens when you leave me by myself in a quiet room with some face paint. Oh, actually, I used a thick band. I would recommend using like one of those little plastic elastic, as small, as flat as you can. If you have thin hair, it's probably not so much of a big deal, but if you have thick hair like me, you need every ounce of space, every lack of lump that you can get, and this is a pretty chunky lump. The hair is contained. And now we go see if my mic is charged, even though it's only been like 10 minutes. But you know, it's okay. Maybe it'll be ready. Makeup removed, hair. This, we can begin the bluification process. I got this ye old. Oh, good night. No, my camera doesn't autofocus because she's built different. And by different, I mean old. Let's begin the bluification. Bluification by using Maron Paradise in light blue. Oh, interesting. I got different batch numbers. Well, obviously they were ordered like 2 years apart. But sometimes I do use primer as a base layer for this. Just, I don't know, maybe it helps it stick on better. You know, I just use an excess of like anything that'll help makeup stick. So setting spray, setting powder, primer, anything like that. Because if you're not just impressing people with the fact that you got up early to paint yourself blue, you're impressing them with the fact that it's humid, rainy, you're sweating, it's 80 degrees out, and you're still blue. Most people are pretty impressed with that. Pretty cool. Well, it begins. And I'm gonna do my best. But if I don't do my best, just know it's because I just got home from work. And also, this is the third time that I've done this in the last 3 weeks. Two weeks. I love going to the Ren Fair as Jester Lavorre. It's my favorite thing. For someone who... Oh, I should also have been in a room with consistent lighting instead of one where the light's gonna change every 5 minutes. Whoopsie. I'm sure I was gonna say something funny and informative like 5 minutes ago, but I've already forgotten what it was. Too busy being blue. Also, at everyone at the Ren Fair who tells me, "Oh, you're looking a little blue." Why all your dads doing at the Ren Fair? Just kidding. Everybody's welcome at the Ren. Woo! Sorry, I hit the mic. Everybody's welcome at the Ren Fair. Fast as frick, boy. I'm fast as frick. Oh, I do not. Whoops. We're back, baby. I'm bluer than ever. Let me catch my breath, so listen to some instrumental music while we speed our way through getting a nice flat bass. It's really unfortunate because there's such a long, ugly stage to this process, and the unfortunate thing about that is that it is your face. And as someone who struggles with having a face, this part of the process, a little embarrassing. Oh, I also was trying to say like 20 minutes ago that I do not glue down my eyebrows because I generally put my eyebrows in the same spot. Use them as a nice little guideline. Use them as a nice little free texture. Free texture. What I don't want as free texture is my baby hairs. Dude, I'm just doing my best. We just vibing. I don't even know if I'm doing my best at this point. I'm just doing. I look kind of creepy. I'm not allowed to get serotonin in normal ways. I'm only allowed to get serotonin by looking like this. Well, not like this. This really does a number on my self-esteem. This, the worst ASMR. Ideally, you get someone else to paint the back of your neck, but I'm home by myself, so we're painting as much of the back of the neck as I can, and whatever is missed is missed. It looks terrible, but trust the process. The back of my ears painted? Oh, no. No, they are not. Don't ask me how many layers I do. We don't talk about that. Ooh, my microphone battery is running out again. This is very unfortunate. I would recommend a beauty blender. That's what I had last year. I don't know what happened to it. Probably threw it away because I was like, why is this beauty blender blue? That's unusable. I should have known better. But I do like to go over with some kind of sponge because it kind of gets rid of the brush strokes. But in my opinion, the sponge does a lot more picking up of paint than putting it down, which is why I start with the paintbrush anyways. If you're into doll customizations, pretend yourself is a doll. And add on a layer of Mr. Super Clear. Oh, it's right up my nose. I don't know, in my opinion, if you're getting something, you should get like all the same brands because they're tested together, they work together. The only thing that is like, it doesn't matter what brand you get, as long as you get this Ben Nye Final Seal, this and this, I think the combination of these two, the Mehron Setting Powder and the Ben Nye Final Seal, the secret to why I remain blue all 4 hours at the Ren Fair. And if you just found my channel and you're like, holy moly, she's painting herself blue. She doesn't even get paid for this. No, I do not. For the lipstick, I use NYX Liquid Suede, apparently. Honestly, if I wore lipstick more often in day-to-day, as opposed to like lip glosses and lip tints, I would highly recommend it. It keeps me blue when I sweat, it keeps me blue when I eat. I tried oval lining the other day. I should not talk while I'm doing this. Hold on. So we start there, and then we clean it up. I am an artist, but not that kind of artist. Don't solve any of your problems by becoming more accurate. Solve your problems by fixing your mistakes after the fact. I like to give myself a little smile, Joker smile, at the corner of my mouth, kind of like that, because Jester should always look like she's smiling. This is Mehron Paradise, this is Mehron Starblend. I don't know what the difference is. Yeah, but I like to take some of this. What am I doing with it? Oh, my eyebrows! You're not convincing them that you've done this before. That's kind of crazy. I look kind of crazy. Okay. She said okay. It's not okay. How it's gonna be. Now I have this eye palette from Huda Story. I don't think that matters. I just got any old blue palette. This one was like 10 bucks. Came in the Amazon mail, all shattered. Now, take a nice fluffy brush and bring it all around. Hey! It's pretty good. Oh, she crunchy. Great little gradient. Then so that's too much. Just blot it out. Why's it gotta be the one time that I'm like, I'm gonna record? Everything is like, no. Let's pretend I know how to do makeup. It's a little dramatic, but we kind of vibing, you know? Kind of into the drama. That is too much drama. Hey, hey, ta-da! Easy. And now you have definition in your eye sockets. And you got contouring. Oh, husband is home. Husband is home. Oh, cheek contour. Of course. Oh, it is getting so dark in here. The sun, it is going. I think this might be a little bit more dramatic than I'm usually used to doing, but I think it's okay, because I'm going to be on camera. Now it's time to get socked up, dressed up. The sun is setting, so we gotta go. Also, I didn't get it in the video properly. You can see it a little bit here, but I used the NYX White Jumbo Eyeliner to highlight the corner of my eyes, the tip of my nose, my cupid's bow, and also just around my eyebrows. I also paint little hearts onto my cheeks. I don't know, that's something I just like to do for myself. I think it's cute. And then we put on the wig cap. When I'm actually going out to the Ren Fair to walk around all day, I'm usually a lot more precise with this. I flatten my hair a little bit more and I use like 1,000 times more bobby pins than I do in this video. But in this case, I was literally racing the light to get ready so that I could make some reveal footage. So we're just smacking all that hair up into a wig cap and boom, magic of editing, I am wearing most of my costume. So now we can put the magnet band over the wig cap and the wig over that band. And we keep our fingers crossed that all the magnets are laying flat and we'll hold on to the horns. But at this point the bangs from the wig falls into my eyes and I remember I don't have my lashes on, so we glued that on very haphazardly. I don't know why I ever thought that I could do a makeup tutorial on this. It's just silly little me doing silly little things. And now we can finally add on the horns. I think adding the horns really does sell the costume. It really defines Jester Lavorre. I think it balances out the costume a lot nicely. The wig as well, which is very fluffy on the bottom and a little flat on the top. Here I tie a green band of silky satiny fabric around my head. This is just a scrap of fabric that I stole from my scrap bin and cut into more or less a long rectangular shape so I could tie it around my head, just like Jester has in her reunion photo. And then we put the ears on. And last but not least, I want to address my blue arms and legs, which you will see later in the video. This is just me wearing some nice opaque blue nylon socks that I have cut emo sweater handholes in and also a neck hole into. Last year I did try making the full gloves like a lot of people recommend, putting the fake fingernails on it and everything. It worked okay. A lot of the fingernails popped off because I wasn't using strong enough glue. But you know what? This solution is much more comfortable. This lazy solution, which is just to put some actual gloves over the nylon socks. That way you don't have to sew fingers, which is, really nice. And with that, I think it's time for the reveal.
Are you gonna make your Disney Channel? Are you gonna make your Disney Channel?
I'm Jester Lavorre. And you're watching Critical Role. I apologize for the bad lighting and the change of scenery, but my camera ran out of battery, so, but here I am as Jester Lavorre. Since I already talked about the costume problems in my last video, I do want to talk about pretty much just this section. At the Ren Fair, I get a lot of different questions when I go out as Jester. The most asked question is, do I get itchy when I'm wearing all this face paint? The answer is honestly no, though I am constantly very, very full of allergy medication, and whenever I miss a day, you know, I get very itchy. I get a lot of like texture sensory problems, but as long as I'm taking it actively, I'm okay. So I don't know if that plays like a major part into why I don't get itchy when I have all this makeup and paint on, but honestly, it's very comfortable. It's very lightweight. I can barely feel it. And in general, my personal comfort at the Ren Fair is directly proportional to how well my costume is handling together. It has nothing to do with like my personal comfort, as long as everything is together and looks right. And as far as this costume goes, I would say that's a 98% on comfort. The only thing is that this horn, for some reason, doesn't connect super well to the magnets that are in the headband that I made. Couldn't tell you why, but it does fall off from time to time when I'm walking around. All I have to do is just go boop and put it back on. It is kind of annoying, you know. Other than that, it doesn't really affect my enjoyment. The other caveat that I kind of want to put in regarding this is that I want to acknowledge that I do have very good skin for doing something like this. It has a pretty uniform texture all throughout. I don't have very oily skin. Honestly, it's a little bit more on the dry side, but it's very manageable. And when I sweat, it doesn't bead on my skin. It all stays very close, so it doesn't result in any dripping or anything like that. Not everyone can say that about their skin, and I'm just lucky in that way. And as much as I absolutely recommend the Ben Nye makeup setting spray, I want to put that out there because I don't want to like falsely advertise just because I'm a little lucky. But the Ben Nye makeup spray is very good. And enough negativity. So over the past weekend, I went to the Ren Fair for what I think will be the last time that I'm going as Jester Lavorre this year. I actually ended up last minute joining a costume contest and winning, which was super cool. I won 4 tickets to a Viking festival that is happening sometime next year, and you best believe that I'm already thinking of costumes for that. Also, a lot of people told me that I was their favorite costume at the Ren Fair or their favorite Jester Lavorre that they had seen, and that really warms my heart. And I know that I could never measure up to Ginny D. She's everything I want to be and more, but still, it's super heartwarming. You know, I'm my favorite character, and I'm also a lot of other people's favorite characters. That's exactly why I want to do this. But with that, I think we can close the book on Jester Lavorre for this year. I am so happy that I got a chance to share my version of her with you. Every time I put Jester's face on, I love it more and more, and I hope I get to take it more places than just the Ren Fair, but you know what? Who knows? Not me.
Let chaos reign.